going to be talking about how to buy real estate as an investor. Emphasis on the phrase as an investor, because it's not just enough to have plenty money and have interest in real estate. For you to build wealth, for you to do real estate as an investor, you have to be very strategic, you have to be very intentional, and you don't just buy properties or buy real estate anyhow. So in this video, you have to watch it to the very end. If you are somebody who is interested in building wealth through real estate as an investor, again, there are two types of people. You have those who are investors, and you have those who just buy real estate for buying sake. They are just possessors of real estate. They are just owners of real estate. They just want to own real estate. And for those people, this video is not for you. This video is only for those of you who are investors and want to build wealth using real estate. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Raymond Dijoma, and I am the lawyer that loves real estate. Or if you like, the real estate entrepreneur that uses law as a tool in the best interest of my client. This video is brought to you by Fortreal Rei Ltd, a real estate company right here in the very city of Abuja. And as a company, we bring you the absolute best of real estate here in this city and beyond. And because of what we do here, we are absolutely committed to giving you the best of real estate investment opportunities. We don't just share the opportunities with you, we also educate you so that you know how to safely and rightly invest in real estate in a way that you can build wealth for yourself. And that means that you would want to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on any video that we put out here, because every video we put out here is an asset, it's strategic, it's important as far as your wealth building journey is concerned, because you'll be educated, you'll be empowered, you'll be inspired, and you basically get everything as relates to what you will need in this journey. So again, subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment for us as a feedback, and of course we would look forward to hearing from you whenever you want to reach out to us through the number showing somewhere on your screen. And like I said in the beginning, we are going to be looking at how to buy land. There is a way to buy land as an investor. You don't just put out your money out there. You don't just gather all the money you have saved and you just pump it into real estate based on anything that comes your way. No. In my opinion, you shouldn't do it that way. And then, of course, I'm not an expert. This is not an investment advice, as it were. This is educational, and because some of you would have to, for you to go with the advice I'm going to be giving here, you have to be specific with your consultancy and, of course, put into context your own personal finance, your own personal goals, and all of that. So I advise you to really pay attention and watch this video to the very end if you are somebody who is looking to build wealth as an investor in real estate. The very first point I'm going to have to make is the fact that you have to buy real estate. You have to buy, and of course, permit me to use a word. If you're somebody who is an investor, real estate is not necessarily something that you buy. It's an investment. In other words, it's a return, right? So it's not just you giving away money. Of course, it's leaving your account. And trust me, I personally know how it feels for you to have 10 million in your account and you take away 8 million or take away 5 million. It reduces in your account. But like I will always say, you are crediting your investment portfolio. And then as you credit your investment portfolio, it will definitely bring back returns for you. And if you're very strategic with it, those returns will end up giving you or returning you back to bank with better money in the account. So the very first one I'm going to have to make it, as an investor, you have to buy real estate with economic clarity, not just with your emotions. In fact, if you would ask me, I would say buy with economic clarity, not emotions. Don't buy real estate this year. Don't buy real estate at any point because everybody in your family now owns a land. Don't buy real estate because your circle, your friends have bought their own real estate. Don't invest in real estate because you want to pepper somebody. You want to show your next door neighbor that you have arrived. You are also now somebody that owns real estate. No, that is emotional. You're being emotional with investment. Don't buy real estate to show off to anybody. You have to be very, very economically driven. In other words, you have to look at real estate as a vehicle. An economic vehicle that is targeted at a particular direction. It's not a decision to flame your ego or just raise your shoulders up. One of the good things about real estate is that nobody writes it on anybody's forehead. As I'm talking to you doing this right now, you don't know how many real estate investment I have. And that's one of the beautiful things. It's also the downside because a lot of persons buy things for validation purposes. Nobody's going to validate you. I can just be walking on the road and nobody knows that I own 100 plus of land somewhere. And this can also be the same for you watching me right now. It's possible that you have millions worth of real estate, billions worth of real estate, and nobody will know. You can even be trekking on the road, riding a bicycle, or even driving the least attractive car. Nobody knows that you have millions, billions in real estate, as the case may be, right? So at that point, there's nothing for anybody to validate you. But when you buy a car, the whole world feels like you've arrived. When you buy a land, it's not written on your forehead. You don't carry it on your shoulder. Yeah, so that is sort of a thing that sort of affects some persons, that makes them buy real estate emotionally. But for you, I would advise that you don't buy real estate emotionally, you buy real estate strategically. And for you to do so, you have to put in economic reasons in mind. And that's the very first point. And I'm going to elaborate all of them. I'm going to tie all of the points. So I urge you to watch it at the very end, because by the end of this video, I'll tie everything together in a way that you will get the best information, you get the best strategies as relates to how to buy real estate as an investor. The second point you must pay attention to if you are an investor is that you need to buy real estate based on opportunity, not based on availability. You have to buy real estate based on opportunity, not based on availability. In other words, it's not just anything that is available that you should buy. Rather, you should buy real estate based on opportunity. In other words, by using the word opportunity, I'm simply saying that it is not every day in the market, right? It doesn't happen. It is not a free for all kind of option, as it were. Right? You have to be very strategic with those opportunities. For example, pre-launch offers. Those are very strategic points to buy real estate, because as somebody, in fact, let me give a practical example. Some persons will not believe this, but this is for real. This is real life stuff, right? Sometime last year, I had an opportunity to buy a land at 15 million naira, 14 million naira actually. I had an opportunity to buy a land at 14 million naira. It was a pre-launch offer. I'm not going to go into the details. That is background information that I don't want to share, right? So I had an opportunity to buy a land at 40 million. It's a privileged insider deal, which of course I believe most of you already know that I'm an insider in doing this, right? And I knew that, in fact, at the point of having that conversation, there was already unexpected, because it was below market value, of course, right? Way below market value. And 30 days ahead of time, it was going to go to around over 20 million, right? But because of a number of projects on ground and a number of things I put money into, I just said, like, I'm in this every time, so there's no point going in that direction or buying into it, right? Now, fast forward to a few months down the line, or let me leave it at by the end of the year or by the end of last year, that same property was going at 80 million naira. 80 million naira. That is what I refer to as opportunity. And as an investor, those are moments you should not joke. And that's the reason I have decided to even create a group that I call Fortreal Smart Investors. A group where we put private exclusive deals that you won't find in the market. In other words, if it's going for, say, 20 million in the market, in that group, you can get it at, say, 18 million. That's 2 million naira extra, or 2 million naira profit right there. And there's sometimes 15 million, right? So that's the essence of that one. If you're interested, you can reach out through the number showing somewhere on your screen, right? So the point, other strategies include discount offers. The property is going for 5 million naira, and the company wants to do a 20% discount, 30% discount. Those are opportunities, right? In other words, right at the point of buying it, you are making profit. Right? There are also distress offers in the market. Just that because of our experience in the business, we usually don't push a lot of distress offers, because some of those distress offers are deliberately designed to scam you of your money, right? So we just try to be very careful with distress offers. But if you have a genuine distress offer, come on, jump on it, because you're already buying it at below the market value, right? So let me just summarize that point. I don't want to go into so much details again. So in other words, buy real estate based on opportunity, not just availability. In fact, forgive me, just one more point with that. Now, some of you just buy properties, your uncle reaches out to you from the village or from wherever, where real estate is, forgive me, doesn't have certain level of potential. And because it's available, your neighbor in the village wants to buy or wants to sell his property, and then automatically you send money for them to buy it. 10 years, property doesn't appreciate in value. If your appreciation value is like 100,000 naira extra, 500,000 naira extra after 10 years, that's not opportunity buying. That is availability buying. So I would advise you this year and beyond, as an investor, emphasis on the word investor, because if I see any negative comment in this video, I definitely will know that it's because the person is not buying as an investor. The person is only buying based on ownership, right? So as an investor, you have to be strategic. You don't just buy because the land is available in your village. You don't just buy because the opportunity came up somewhere so you just have to be very strategic. Buy based on opportunity with certain elements, not just availability. The third point is that as an investor, you need to learn to buy based on potential, not distance. Some of you will not like this one, but trust me, as an investor, you need to be intentional, you need to be deliberate, you need to be smart and learn to buy based on potential, not distance. Now, one of the things that this is a point that I can actually do a full video on, right? But I'm just going to quickly explain it. Now, what do I mean by buying based on potential? We've always said that real estate investment is all about location. But then there are a number of other elements that actually make or that would qualify or make investment worth investing into, or make a land worth investing into, not just location. But for the purpose of this point, you need to understand that certain locations have high potential for development, potentials that will give you maximum profit. Right? So you have to buy those locations knowing that in 5 years, this particular location can give me as much as 1,000% or return, or 100% return, or depending on what the situation is. Let me quickly put a perspective to it. Let me just give an example, and with it, you will definitely understand the point I'm trying to make. So based on potential, right, a land can be, say, 1 million naira. Of course, this has different elements that can apply, right? But for the purpose of this example, just try to understand what I'm trying to say. Now, you can have a land at 1 million naira, but based on potential, this land in 5 years can become, say, 7 million, 8 million, 10 million. While you can have another location where you're able to buy the land at 5 million, but for certain elements, still based on lack of potential or based on the realities around that particular property, you have that same property in 5 years remain at, say, 6 million, 7 million. Whereas the one that you bought at 1 million based on potential has now become 8 million, 9 million, 10 million. There are different instances like that, right? So you have to buy based on potential, not this. That is why I always would say that every city was once a bush, and every bush has the capacity to become a city. In other words, you don't buy real estate today because it's far. In fact, there's a popular question that comes after you see the place is far. The question is, far from where? Is it far from where you are living or far from the city center? If it's far from the city center, there's already a statistic that shows that in 10, 15 years, wherever is 30 to 1 hour from the city center will also become a city center. So it should not be a matter of how far, but the question of how much potential does this location have in a way that can give me maximum profit. And that is you thinking as an investor. I'll skip away from this point and move to the next, because like I said, I can do a full video on this particular subject matter. And the fourth point, if you are thinking as an investor and you are interested in maximum profit from that investment, then I would advise you not to buy based on aesthetics. Rather, you should buy with the intention of getting maximum profit. Now, a simple question. I'll use my client who reached out. We're currently having a conversation about buying. His budget is let's say within around 30 to 50 million naira. And it's looking at the location where he's going to buy into. And of course, I haven't listened to him, gotten his intention and all of that. I made a couple of suggestions, and he picked 2 out of those options I gave, and I asked the question, and he asked the question, and the question was, which of them can I buy into and make more profit from? That question was asking, it was a question of maximum profit. Now, one of them was 35.5 million naira. The other was 13 million naira. The question is, the one of 35.5 million naira is already at a point where it's peak appreciation already based on that particular product And of course, as the place continues to develop, definitely he's going to make more money, or more money is going to come as profit. But at the point he is buying that product, in fact, let me explain it. In the very beginning, when that product was launched, it was going for 24 million naira. But at this point, he's going to be buying it at 35 million. So technically, he has actually lost some millions already by virtue of buying into that product. And again, this is a conversation of being an investor. Now, for the other product, is buying it at a very low entry point, which is at 13 million naira. The truth about it is in 1, 2, 3, 4 years, that one of 13 million naira will definitely keep appreciating. And then the location itself is one that has massive potential for development, or for growth and development, right? So ultimately, he's going to get maximum profit from this cheaper product than the other one. But in terms of aesthetics, this particular one, which is the one of 35.5 million naira, is actually more attractive, beautiful environment, beautiful place, fine estate, and all of that. But this one, the estate is not fenced yet. But trust me, with everything being equal, with this particular one, is going to hit maximum appreciation, and of course, get maximum profit from it. So that is how investors think. And I would encourage you to think in that line. Don't think aesthetics. Think maximum profit. And that will also connect, think potential, right? Look at the location and analyze it and say, okay, this location, if I put in money here, can I get this? Can I get that? And that would be a very good question to ask as an investor. If you're somebody who just want to own where you want to live in, buy a house, just put in money into real estate, irrespective of whatever it is, or you want to hide money in real estate and all of that, you can buy whatever you like, right? Just buy whatever you see, just buy, right? But as an investor, these are the things you need to pay attention to. And the last point, which summarizes all of this, is that you should buy as an investor, not somebody who just wants to own real estate. Buy as an investor, not somebody who wants to own real estate. And that is why I have always said, as somebody who coaches realtors, I'm a coach to realtors, and as somebody who has coached realtors over the years, I tell realtors to ask very strategic questions whenever a client reaches out. And some of those questions include, why do you want to buy this property? What are you looking at? Are you looking at investment, or are you looking at buying and building immediately? Are you looking at somewhere you just want to live in, right? And when realtors ask you this, in fact, questions also like, what budget range do you have, right? Do you mind this? Do you mind that? A number of questions that realtors should ask you. And I personally ask those questions because I know with those questions, you definitely will get the best from every real estate conversation that you are having at any point. So in asking those questions, we're able to get out what, in fact, I've had clients who reach out for A and they end up buying B, because when they reach out, they didn't know that it's not A they wanted or they needed. They actually wanted, or they actually needed B. In other words, I like to say that you should learn to buy real estate not based on want, but based on need, right? Because what you need is what will take you, or with buying a need, real estate becomes a vehicle that takes you to where you are going. But by buying a want, you just buy what you want based on aesthetics, based on a number of other things, but it doesn't take you as a vehicle to where you desire to go to, which of course I believe is sustainable wealth. And if that is your thing, if sustainable wealth, building sustainable wealth is your thing, then at Fortreal Limited, we are happy to serve you. We're a company that is deliberate and intentional about those who want to build wealth through real estate investment. And that is why we are very passionate about you. That is why we don't just share investment opportunities with you. That's why we also educate you, so that when you understand, it is easier for us to work together. And together we can build wealth. That's why we also like to always say that we desire to be part of your financial success story as you journey to building sustainable wealth through real estate investment. Again, my name is Raymond Ijama, and this video was brought to you by Fortreal Rei Ltd real estate company right here in the city of Abuja. And together we would like to be part of your financial success story. So do subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment, and don't forget to stay in touch through the number showing somewhere on your screen. Enjoy the rest of your day and be waiting for your call.